In 1980, Granger Taylor left a handwritten note on the kitchen table of his home in Duncan, British Columbia, and then walked out into a storm and disappeared forever, with every search of every mountain road and trail turning up nothing. That is the problem. Granger Taylor was 32 years old and had never finished high school. He did not need to. By the time he was 14, he had rebuilt a one-cylinder engine from scrap parts. By 24, he had single-handedly restored a decommissioned locomotive, the whole thing, engine to caboose, and the town of Duncan put it on permanent display. He later rebuilt a P-40 fighter plane in his parents' garage, without a manual, without formal training. People who knew him said he could look at any machine and understand it completely, the way other people understand a sentence. He lived on the family property. He worked as a mechanic. He kept mostly to himself, and he had built a flying saucer in his backyard, not a model, a full-scale replica 2 meters high bolted to a wooden base. He had installed a wood-burning stove inside it, a couch, a television set. He would sit in it for hours watching static. Neighbors thought it was eccentric. His parents thought it was just Granger. By 1980, he had become deeply absorbed in UFO literature, in the idea that extraterrestrial intelligence had been attempting to communicate with humanity through technological transmission. He told close friends he had been in contact. That contact had become an arrangement. On the night of November 29, 1980, a massive storm rolled across Vancouver Island. Wind, rain, visibility near zero. Granger Taylor drove away in his yellow pickup truck. No one saw him leave. No one saw which direction he went. The storm covered everything. By morning, he was not there. By afternoon, he was not answering. By the next day, his parents found the note. The note was handwritten. It said Granger was embarking on a 42-month interstellar journey with beings from another galaxy. He expected to return. He asked his parents not to worry. Search and rescue deployed across the island. Police canvassed every road out of Duncan. They checked the ferry terminals. They contacted hospitals across British Columbia. His license plate went national. No sightings, no transactions, no phone calls. Then in the spring of 1986, nearly 6 years later, hikers on Mount Provost found scattered fragments of a yellow pickup truck, shredded metal, broken glass. The pattern was consistent with a high-order explosion, possibly dynamite. The search expanded up the mountain. They found no human remains, no identifiable tissue, no clothing, no wallet, no teeth, nothing that could confirm who had been near that truck or whether anyone had been inside it at all. The simplest conclusion was that Granger Taylor had taken his own life. He drove to an isolated spot on Mount Provost in the storm, detonated an explosive, and the blast destroyed most of the physical evidence. His body was consumed or scattered beyond recovery. The UFO note was evidence of a mind in crisis, constructing a mythology around a decision he had already made. It was a clean, logical theory. It accounted for the note. It accounted for the remote location. It accounted for the explosion. Investigators leaned toward it. A coroner's inquest eventually ruled the death probable. Probable, not confirmed. Here is what that theory cannot explain. The dynamite. Granger Taylor worked on engines, not demolitions. His family had no record of him purchasing explosives. No regional supplier had a transaction under his name. If he obtained dynamite, there is no documented trail showing when, where, or how. The fragment pattern. Forensic examination of the debris field was consistent with an explosion. But the spread was narrow. A catastrophic detonation inside a truck cab produces a specific kind of destruction, a radius. The fragments found on Mount Provost did not fully match that profile. The surrounding ground was intact. Trees nearby showed no blast damage at the expected distance. Remember the note. He said 42 months. He said he would return. That is not the language of a man writing a final act. That is a man who believed he was leaving on a journey with a fixed endpoint. And there is something else. No one checked on Granger in the days before the disappearance, but a close friend spoke to him in the week before November 29. He described Granger as calm, purposeful, not distressed. He said Granger seemed like a man who had made a decision and was at peace with it, but the decision, the way Granger described it, was an arrival. Something he had been waiting for had finally come. The friend said he did not think anything was wrong. He thought Granger looked like someone who knew exactly where he was going. The case has never been officially closed. No death certificate was issued for years. Mount Provost has been searched multiple times since 1986. The yellow pickup fragments remain in evidence storage in British Columbia. Granger Taylor is still listed as missing. If he planned to come back in 42 months, then where is he, and what exactly was he waiting for?